Hi everybody, annamorfidis with Mending Hearts Counseling, and today's number or part 3 video of how to stop chasing relationships, how to understand why you're a chaser in the first place, and then how to heal it, and now how you have found yourself to become one in the first place is going to be the last part of the series today. Even though all videos are kind of intertwined with each other, if you wanted to have a deeper understanding of why we become chasers in the first place, because I also, do I even want to say was a chaser? Maybe I think I still am, actually. I feel like I'm still chasing love to love me. In my current state, I am chasing love to love me back. So I am still working on it. I'm still healing my wounds, my abandonment issues, my anxious attachment issues. And I'm grateful and thankful for the masculine that is reflecting that back to me, because that is the only way that we know that we have these childhood wounds to heal in the first place. And now we know with books like this or this or this that no one escapes childhood wounds. No one escapes childhood traumas. No one escapes experiences in childhood that will in turn shape your core beliefs about yourself. I'm going to read to you what the definition of core belief is. Core beliefs can be described as one's most central ideas about the self, others, and the world. These beliefs often develop in childhood as one interacts with significant others and the world around them. Because sometimes beliefs can also form in adolescence. So childhood is like 0 to 11, and then adolescence is 11 to 24. Our brain is still interpreting the world around us in that moment, and it creates the core beliefs that will basically be the hard drive of your nervous system and the signals that they will fire out every day. So say that you grew up like me. I grew up quite poor in a small village. My dad had to come overseas to make money for us. Therefore, I felt abandoned. My mom didn't know any different because she was raised by a stepmom who was quite abusive. She never went to school, doesn't know how to ride a bike, doesn't know how to drive a car. She was always quite inadequate in her capabilities of being able to be there for us in certain ways. And then, of course, because she was physically and emotionally abused, that's the only thing that she knew how to do. She didn't even finish elementary. So I acquired these central core beliefs about myself: that I am unlovable, that I am not good enough, that I am unworthy, I am bound to be rejected, I am bound to be abandoned. Anything negative that you can think about, I had acquired it because I was never able to have the opposite experience as a child. Therefore, the negative things were imprinted and became part of my nervous system, and the signals that my neurons fired every day when I woke up were of those nature. And this is not to blame anyone. This is not a blame your parents game, because our parents also have their own set of wounds. My mom has a lot of wounds, and all of her siblings did too, because their mom died when they were really little. So they were all abandoned. And then their dad he was in World War II. So he also abandoned. So they had a lot of issues, and they all suffered great losses. And then it manifested in their body. 3 of them have already passed away from cancer years ago. Like, that is how severe sometimes trauma can show up in our bodies. It manifests in ridiculous ways that will actually take away our life. Never mind just become chasers in relationships. But they can run that deep when you don't change those emotions. It can manifest into bodily dysfunctions and really hurt you in that way too. So now that we know that we acquire these beliefs when we were children because we don't know the difference between, we can rationalize why a parent is abandoning us or leaving us or physically abusing us. We don't understand the difference. We can't rationalize the difference between that being done because of them as opposed to that being done because of us, that we are at fault. We acquire things as them being our fault when we were children. So we create these core beliefs about ourselves. So once we know this, then we can change it, because with awareness can come great change. When we're not aware of something, we cannot change it. Now that we are aware of this core belief, we can change it. And we can use tools such as cognitive behavioral therapy or inner child healing work or positive affirmations. And you can look at video part 2 where we talk about how to heal your abandonment or anxious attachment issues. Know that you are not singled out in this. I feel many of my clients that I work with say this question, don't you feel sorry for me, once they tell me their stories. And believe me, there are so many heartbreaking stories out there. So the question, don't you feel sorry for me? Why is this happening to me? I now know that you're not excluded. You're not singled out. We all experience these lessons. We all come into the world with childhood trauma. I feel like it was Nicole LaPera actually that talked about even childbirth, she said, is traumatic for the mother and for the child. I've heard many childbirth traumatic stories. So even that experience in itself is traumatic. Imagine, because it happens that sometimes, knock on wood, may that never happen to anyone, but if say your mother passes while she's giving birth to you, boom, already right there, you are abandoned. You don't know the difference, but you don't have the experience to feel that mother to child bond. You are already against the odds of not feeling abandoned for the rest of your life, just by that one single experience. Trauma is the result of what happened to you. You're not your trauma, but you are the result of that. So when something doesn't make sense for us children and we cannot process it in order to let go of it, we hold on to it, and then it manifests in thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. So now that we know how we acquire these core beliefs about ourselves that make us to be chasers in the first place, and those core beliefs are, I am bound to be alone, I'm bound to be rejected, I am undesirable, I am unlovable, and then you go into your emotions of fear and sadness because they produce feelings of rejection, abandonment, and all these types of things. Then your behavior is going to be texting a lot, calling a lot, continuing to show how you feel worried and anxious and you feel scared and sad because that's what you felt as a child. You were scared and sad because your needs were not met. You weren't soothed perhaps when you fell down. Maybe when you fell down, you were hit on top of it. That's what would happen to me. Instead of being soothed that I was a kid and I fell down and I hurt my knee, I would get in trouble on top of that. I was getting in trouble for everything. There was no soothness. Security, not much security because there was some abuse going on there. So my body was never secure. And this is how this happens. So once you know it, just don't do the mistake of staying in victim mentality. Victim mentality will never help you. We are all victims of childhood, if you want to put it that way. Our parents, their parents, and the biggest gift that you can give to yourself is to heal yourself, heal your inner child. Check out part 2 of this video, how to heal your inner child. This is the biggest gift that you can give to yourself, and if you're a parent, then that's the biggest gift that you can give to your children, is your healed self, because then they don't have to do that work, because you're not passing it on. That's what intergenerational patterns and intergenerational trauma is. Think of the First Nations people. No wonder they carried all these abandonment, rejection, unworthy issues through their generations, and they became who they were. They weren't born this way to be like in society this way. We created that. Man created that simply by its own actions. It all stops today. Remember that you can change your thoughts. You can heal your inner child. Now that we know where they come from, we are adults now, and we have the capability and the capacity and the awareness to do different for ourselves. I wishing you so much healing again. I have so much gratitude for you for watching my videos, so much gratitude for you for watching other people's videos, for wanting to heal yourself, to do better for yourself, to feel better for yourself, to not chase anymore. Let love come to you. You can do it. With all my love and respect, I will see you next time. And if you like this video, please don't forget to like it. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and I will see you next time.